Most of us suffer from a midlife crisis at some point in our lives. In fact, this was my third. The first one, I decided to get a motorbike. The second, I bought a pub. And now here we are, driving around Japan. Quitting a job, selling your belongings, and deciding to attempt to drive around the world in an old UK camper van could be classed as insane. Maybe it is, but I like to call this decision our ultimate midlife crisis. I often think back to the stressful times I sat at my office desk dreaming of early retirement and having the time to do what I really wanted to. I wondered what the past me would think about the current me. I mean, it's actually quite hard to process the enormity of this challenge.
Japan?
No, the whole world. But we are driving around Japan. And after accidentally driving down the smallest and most dangerous road we've seen, we're pleased to say we survived and are excited to discover one of Japan's oldest and most traditional towns. One thing's for sure, when I'm lying on my deathbed, I won't be wishing I had more money, a bigger house, or a faster car. I'll be smiling at all the crazy things I've done. Chris Fisher. Okay, arrived in town, just got to find a bit of parking. It's looking a very interesting town, I have to say. So if you turn left here, I think there should be a car park. First Japanese ticket car park, how is this gonna go? Okay, we got a ticket. Will we ever be able to pay to leave? That's the question, but we'll find out.
Yeah, if we become residents of Japan, that's what went wrong.
Welcome to the historic city of Takayama. Absolutely amazing looking place. And the first place we're going to find this morning is a morning market. Got a fish in a bowl outside the shop. That's funny. Driving through Japan, one thing we haven't seen for a while is tourists. And it's interesting, this is definitely a tourist town, but it's so historic and beautiful, and that attracts tourists. So this is the beginning of the morning market. We just set up by the river here. Little traditional shoes. We've just looked over the edge, and in the river here, amazingly, look, and you can see some more down there, a huge carp. I can't believe they're just naturally swimming around the river. You hear of koi carp and all these big colourful carps and stuff in Japan. We haven't seen any yet, but yeah, they're here just in the river. You can buy little bags of food and feed them. They're huge.
There are so many.
As we wandered, admiring all the local produce on sale, it wasn't long before something caught our attention. Little fish that have got a filling in them.
One custard.
Japanese pancake fish is the best way to describe those. And they're actually still warm. And oh, that's good.
Is that the chocolate or the custard one?
No, I got a custard filling. Yeah, they're actually pickled red turnips. They look like the red ginger we got.
She also has bags of rice, which she probably grew at home.
That's amazing. Little mini bonsai trees, plants.
Nice.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Down by the river. You can always tell when you're in a tourist area because suddenly everybody speaks English. Here you've got all the miso drums selling different types of miso. So it's fermented soybean paste used for making the soup and many other dishes. Look at that, that's amazing, and I'm loving these barrels. Wow, look at the size of those drums.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
Are these the traditional? These must be the traditional drums that they make huge quantities of miso in at the back of the store. It's massive.
Yeah. Not for your average van kind of barrel.
No, I don't think so. It's absolutely fascinating looking around all these different shops. What is that?
It is soy sauce with miso and ginger.
It actually tastes nice, but it's like a concentrated version of that miso soup.
Yes.
It's a bit strong for me. We've got mushrooms and seaweed and different things. Oh, ginger, that's your ginger. The sweet one, I think. What is that?
Oh, I think it's the, you know, the radish that we had. It's
Pickled radish?
Yeah. Do you remember?
Oh, that's like the one we had with the sushi.
Yeah.
Heading down a side alley to escape the hot sun, we found more shops with an array of traditional items, from Japanese fans to samurai swords. They even had a whole shop just selling chopsticks. Just seen these traditional Japanese knives. Look, they're made in the town of Seki, which is where we're going to go and try and see traditional sword making. Okay, so now we're heading down to the old town, the old street. They have the most traditional, beautiful, old, well-preserved Japanese buildings here, and it's absolutely stunning. Look at this. This is what Japan would have looked like back in the day. Takayama's historical old town, known locally as Sanomachi, gives you a rare glimpse of life back in feudal Japan's Edo period, which ran from 1603 to 1868. Back in the day, Takayama was a thriving merchant town, famous for its craftsmen, particularly carpenters, and as a result, the town came under the direct control of the shogunate.
Actually feel the history.
I just can't begin to explain how amazing this street is. You can just imagine what the whole of Japan would have looked like back in the day. These are all like restaurants and stuff scattered down the road. The menus are always in Japanese in the window, so sometimes it's quite hard to know what they're selling. But yeah, absolutely stunning street. We've come down into the back streets now. We're going to try and find somewhere for lunch before we hit the road again. It's very warm today. I'm very pleased they got these walkways which create shade and shelter if it rains down all the pavements. It's just not the old street, the old town that looks old. It all looks old. Look at this. Okay, so this is a place we're going to give a bash for lunch. Looks very traditional. As soon as we stepped through the curtain door, I knew that this was going to be one of those traditional experiences we'll never forget.
Barbecue.
Oh, look at this. The Chaba barbecue, wow. So this restaurant's got the traditional Japanese tables with the fire lit. Wow, that's amazing. We wanted to sit on the floor to get the full experience. Although It's not easy following 2 previous knee operations. So this is exactly what I wanted to find. This is a very traditional Japanese restaurant with the barbecue fire pits in the middle of the table. Amazingly, they actually asked us if we want an English menu, which does make life much easier. But it says here that it's been specializing in the local cuisine, and it was open since 1979. Arigato. So one of the things Hida and this region is famous for is its special beef, like Wagyu beef. So I think we're going to try some of that for lunch and grill it on the fire in front of us. I'm very excited. This is where the magic comes. Arigato gozaimasu. One of the house specialities is called Huba miso. Slices of Hida beef, miso, shiitake mushrooms and onions grilled on a huba or magnolia leaf. Arigato. So wow, look at the marbling on that beef. That is absolutely amazing. That is the famous beef here. We've got some pickled vegetables here. This is a barbecue sauce. As we're stirring that beef mixture there. Hey, mix. Okay, first taste of beef.
Very good.
That is delicious.
The thing that makes this beef so special is the marbling of the fat through the meat. Oh, that is so tender. Arigato. We got more. We got rice and miso soup and some pickles. Oh, arigato.
With sugar. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, so this one here is the beef vegetables in a sauce. So I'm going to go in for try that. Oh. It's got that real rich, intense, slightly sweet Japanese flavored sauce. Absolutely delicious.
Miso.
Miso.
Rice.
Hi.
Rice.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Oh,
Rice in the rice. Hi. Arigato.
Yeah, it comes with instructions.
We need to tell us how to eat it. There's a lot of heat coming off the coals, but they actually put these barriers in to protect you from the heat coming out from the side of the barbecue.
It was a mission of mercy. The hot flushes were taking over, so that saved me.
We sat savouring the wonderful tastes and soaking in this uniquely Japanese experience. It was definitely one of those unforgettable moments. Okay, that was definitely worth it. If you come to this town, go there for lunch. It was amazing.
And we had a set each with the beef, and it was 7,000 yen.
You know we love to drive challenging roads. We've done some crazy roads in places like Georgia and Turkey. But looking at the roads that go through northern Nepal, we think it would be pushing Trudy too far, and we don't want to take that risk. So we've ruled out going to Nepal. The route into northern Pakistan does actually have paved roads, so that is a viable option. But we think that driving across China in 19 days, getting into northern Pakistan, would be in India within a month. And we think we'd have more of an experience heading down through the Far East. So we think we're going to look at 2 options, either going into Vietnam or Laos, then down through Thailand, and finally arriving in Malaysia. And then we'd ship on from there, where we're not 100% sure yet. And just in case we can't get across China, we've managed to find a shipping route from South Korea to either Vietnam or Malaysia. So at least we have options. The moment of truth. That's 1,000 years. 1,800. Yay! Yeah, I think it was 200 an hour maybe.
And that one over there?
Oh, it was 200 every 20 minutes.
Where that one was 1,000 for a day.
Can't read the signs. So we've just driven just to the outskirts of the city and we've come to Hida Folk Village. And already I'm looking at this and it's absolutely stunning. I didn't realize how big an area it is. Look, we're here, this is the main gate where we're entering and they've got all these different houses. Oh yeah, this looks great. So I think we'll go and have a little walk around there. You up for a little afternoon stroll?
I'm up for a stroll in these magnificent woods.
Okay, so entry is 700 yen per person. An open-air museum, Hida Folk Village, or Hida no Seito as it's locally known, gives a glimpse into what mountain life was like over 200 years ago. The museum opened in 1971 after more than 30 traditional houses were relocated here from the surrounding Hida region. We've got a call from Aunt Julia. Hello, Aunt Julia.
Hello, Auntie Julia. There's a camera. There's a camera. We're on a filming day. Have a look at this.
We stood there for a while, showing Julia the village's beautiful lake, filled with koi carp and overlooked by a colourful landscape. That is the view over the Hida Mountains, which is also known as the Japanese Alps there in the distance. Okay, Marianne's releasing the child within. There is a bamboo, like a syringe. You suck up the water and then you've got to try and hit the target, which is over there. Oh. Terrible shot, Marianne.
Terrible shot.
Although it is windy. Yay!
I didn't move it.
Look at these houses. Is that not what you expect to see? The old movies. That's fantastic. This area can get as much as 2 meters of snow on the roof. And that's why they've got all these big, thick, heavy raftered roofs and steep sides. So this area we think would have been for the animals.
You've got feed bags that are hanging up here. There's animal yoke collars for ploughing in the fields and a few of the agricultural things. And then this would have been the house area for the family.
Oh wow. Stepping inside and seeing the traditional clothes and artifacts, I wondered what life would have been like back in those days. They'd have to come out and go to the loo in this outhouse, but that's a pretty impressive looking outhouse, and you can chat to your family members while you're on the loo.
Oh, it's a loo!
Mad to think what life would have been like here back in the 1700s. Yeah. Really gets the imagination going, and I love that. I love that.
It said that in there that they would have had like up to 2 meters of snow. That's cold.
Freezing on the roof at any one time.
We're really high up.
All over the wall you can see the old traditions of bag knitting and making charcoal bags here and weaving straw mats. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's fascinating. I wonder if any of this stuff will come back in the future.
sure what this building is, but it's huge. Look at that for a thatched roof. Look how thick it is. And the sides are that steep because of the snow. So it is. This huge building is a house. It's just a much bigger house.
He must have been very important. Wakayama.
Wow. And so it says here, this wooden sink was used for cooking and washing. The left hand was a bathroom. So they would have washed here, also cooked and cleaned everything all in one long hollowed out log.
A little bit like Trudy's sink. Everything happens in that one place.
It does. Oh, you can go, I think you can go upstairs. Let's go and have a look upstairs. Wow, that is that's what you call quite a big loft space. Look at that. Look how high these rafters go above. There's like another 2 floors up there.
Yeah.
So here's a tip. If you're traveling around, going into buildings in Japan, it's always good to wear slip-on shoes or sandals, because lace shoes, you have to undo them and do them up every time that you enter a building. Luckily, I got my sandals on. We continued walking around the village, knowing that today will be one of those magical moments we won't forget. And I wondered what other memories lay ahead as we continue the long drive back towards the UK. One thing's for sure, there'll be a lot more stories to come.